Welcome back to the Closing Advantage Strategic Insights for Title Agents. Real property, real people, real stories, real consequences. I am your host, Bill O'Connell. What are we going to talk about today, Bill? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. When I came back to Fidelity, I was searching around, trying to get the lay of the land, trying to figure out where all the underwriting materials are, because I had to leave it all behind. And so I'm looking around, I'm finding everything, the manuals, the underwriting guidelines, and lo and behold, down at the very bottom of the list was this article called 10 Axioms for Excellence in Underwriting. Now that caught my attention because it was written in October of 1994, and it was written by two guys, Joseph Benita and Jack Marino, two underwriters with the company. And, I thought, I used to participate in a program called Excellence in Underwriting. I was a facilitator, one of several. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot from the participants, learned a lot from the other facilitators. It was a great experience. But what caught me about this article was its title, Excellence in Underwriting. I thought that was created in 2014, but no, these two guys had created it in 1994. Now, in 1994, I was still in law school. I had a chance to catch up with Jack Marino just before he retired in January of this year. And Jack told me the story of how he and Joe created it, and it was very entertaining. They struggled over the name, and eventually they came up with 10 axioms for excellence in underwriting. So I thought, since the 10 axioms are timeless, that I would share them with you so that you can gain a better understanding of how an underwriter, a very good underwriter, approaches your problems every day. And so let's start. Number one, don't argue about risk you know you will ultimately take. The process should not be adversarial. Focus on the stuff that matters. I try to do that every day. Focus on the stuff that matters. Number two, anticipate customer requirements. Discuss problems up front. Don't think you will avoid coverage that was forgotten. They rarely forget. Now, instead, what happens is they come to you at the very end and say, oh, by the way, I need this, this, and this. And now you don't have time to deal with it. So don't think you're going to get away with it just because they haven't asked for it. They will. Number three, don't categorize a risk as inherently unacceptable. Instead, suggest alternative solutions to the customer's request. To do this, you need to find out about what the customer is trying to accomplish. Try to learn about your customers and their business. What risks or facts is the customer seeking to address or avoid? Can you offer coverage to meet this need? Number four, don't say no to a serious request without seeking input from others. I call this the self-appeal. Find others who are willing to wrestle with you over ideas and solution. Network and focus on the problem, not the people. Everywhere I have gone in this business, I have found talented and smart people willing to help me when I get stuck. You can find them too. Number five, use underwriting and claim stories as a marketing tool. Aggressively promote your solutions and what it takes to get the job done. Nobody sees what goes on behind the curtain. It's okay to share it with them. Number six, be positive. Be willing to listen. Partner with the customer to search for a solution. All of my customers are my partners. I don't work for them. They don't work for me. We work together to get the job done. Show interest in the customer and his or her problem. Sometimes the answer is an effective no. So, for example, If the solution is a quiet title action, well, those things don't happen overnight and they're complicated and they're involved. So that's essentially an effective no, but it's an answer. But at the end of the day, the customer needs to know that you gave everything you had to try to figure out a solution that doesn't call for an effective no. Number 7, quantify the risk. Don't take a bad risk for a good customer. We'll do a whole episode on evaluating and quantifying risk. We'll have some fun doing it too. Number 8, be creative. Sometimes the problem is how we see the problem. All problems related to real property are solvable. They must be, because as my real property professor used to say, land is meant to be used and it's not going anywhere. So there is a solution. Let's find it. Okay, the last two are timeless sage advice, but there are just some things I can't share with you. So that's it for today. Remember, don't just close it, own it. That's your closing advantage.